All right, so I actually, for the first time in a long time, bought myself an antique again. Now, I haven't had an antique in a while, and I try to keep myself away from eBay. eBay is like the devil's playground for someone like me who likes to buy shiz. Okay, so my husband recently took about 40% of my antiques, got a U-Haul truck, and carted them off somewhere, and without telling me. And so now if I buy antiques, I have to get little teeny tiny antiques that aren't in the way, if you know what I mean, because yeah, he doesn't like them too much. And so I got an antique. Usually I've been buying bags. Now go ahead and subscribe to me on Rumble, where I do bag unboxings. You can find the link in the description beneath this. And so if you're into bags and stuff like that and you like to see unboxings, I do lots of bag unboxings. All right. Now we're going back to the roots of this channel, which is an antique channel. A lot of people were complaining because I wasn't showing antiques anymore. All right. So I got this on eBay and I went back on. I didn't even know my password. That's how long I haven't been on eBay. All right. The seller actually, come on, focus. The seller actually put this in a pretty box. I paid $35 for this. They had to buy it now. It was just listed. And then I was just like, what the hell, right? What the hell? But I don't really know. The pictures weren't very good. I don't really know how good this one's going to be. All right, so, of course, by now you realize it's a brooch. I'm not going to flip it over yet because I'm nervous. And it looks really dirty. Okay, I'm going to try to guesstimate the age. Let's take a look at the attributes of it. Okay, so we have a C-clasp. Okay, so when you have a C-clasp, that generally means that this item is old. Okay, let's see the hinge. If it's a round hinge, it's probably 20th century and on, early 20th century. Okay, we have a tube hinge. Don't know if you can see this. All right, let's get in there close. Can we get a focus, phone? Okay, that is a tube hinge. This is telling me Victorian or earlier, but most likely Victorian. I don't think this is going to be that early for $35. Now, the seller thought this was vintage. That always helps on the price, if you know what I mean. All right, you ready? All right, we're going to flip her. We're going to flip her over. Uh-oh. And, all right, you ready? Here we go. Oh, wow. Okay, this is actually really pretty. All right, so let's get in there close. This is a cameo. And a lot of you are like, oh, a cameo. Nah. Well, I'll tell you, I didn't like them either. And I thought of them as grandma jewelry. And as I got older, into the grandma age group, I was like, you know what? This is actually, yeah, I can't believe I'm even saying that. These are actually cool. Why? Because these were actually hand carved. So all these cameos were hand carved by hand. Now they're done by laser. So this is an art that's lost. And what I like about it, let's go ahead and see the carving. We're going to get in there close if we can. Okay, so this, you could see the raised, look at the raised relief. All right, and this is a goddess, and I'm going to try to figure out who this goddess is. All right, so look at this. You see how the shell is curved? Even the setting is curved. And I'm going to just try to show you the raised relief on this. I just had to, because sometimes the camera just does not want to focus on close-up things. And, of course, it's not going to focus. Let's zoom out slightly. All right, it does better when it's zoomed out. Don't know why. All right, and what is she? She's a Maenad, or what's known as a bacchante. Probably pronouncing that wrong. What the hell is a Maenad? Well, here's the clues. She has grape leaves and grapes in her hair. So you see that? One big grape leaf. It looks like grapes dangling from, I'm going to try to point it out. Now, I have a microphone attached to my phone right now, and I keep hitting the cord. I hope it's not staticky. All right. Like right there, grapes, grape leaf. So let's get in there close. Grapes on the forehead. Yeah, she's a bacchante. What the hell is a bacchante? Okay, a bacchante was a follower of Dionysus or Bacchus, and Greek and Roman god, two different names, but the same premise. So he was the god of wine. Pretty much a bacchante or a Maenad was a woman that would actually follow, was like a huge fan, like a road. What do you call those people? A groupie, like a groupie of Dionysus or Bacchus. And so they were called Maenads or Bacchantes. And so these women would go into a frenzy. They would be whipped up into a frenzy, almost like a paganism frenzy. And what they would do is they would actually, if they heard the sound, the clash, the clamp, what do you call that? The like of the sound of the cymbals and the sound of all the instruments, like the air and wind instruments, they would whip up into a frenzy, worshiping Bacchus, and they would go into like an orgy-filled like trance, and they would go wild. And that's a Bacchante, a follower of Bacchus. But what am I not happy about? I'm not happy about the filth on this thing. This thing is old. It's probably late Victorian, I'm going to guess. But then again, here's another way to tell the age of your pin. See this point right here? Don't want to get Victorian AIDS. See how it juts out past the pin by that much? Do you see that? That's telling me this is old. So between 1870 to about 1890s, I'm going to guess. I can't, now no expert, but with a pin jutting out that far past the setting, that's telling me this is very old. And why? Okay, so back in the Victorian era and earlier, they had very, very thick, I got Victorian AIDS again. Very, very thick clothing. And so they would need their pins to really be thick and to come out past the setting, just to be able to pin it to their thick clothing. And so that's a clue right here that this is old. Again, I'm guessing 1870s to about 1890s. Can't tell for sure, not an expert. This is a twist design going around the bezel, but it's filthy. Now, sometimes you will get lucky. People will think this is costume jewelry, and this will be real gold, but a low quality gold. You know, it could be just dirty. Like in between the twists is filth, blackened filth. So you can't tell if this is brass or if this is something good. A lot of times these things wouldn't be marked. They wouldn't have the the quality of metal marked. There was no laws really against it at this point until like around the 1890s. They had to be like, markings of like what country of origin and so on and so forth, for the McKinley tax, what was it? The McKinley Tax Act or something like that. But this is not telling me whether this is gold or not. I'm going to do a test and check it out. Like if you look in between the twists, it's just blackened filth. And yeah, I see black over here too. Let's show you this. This is blackened filth. It could be gold plated, but a lot of these were actually about 10 karat gold, 12 karat gold, and sometimes 10 karat or 12 karat gold plated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to cleaning this with Simichrone. I had to get into each nook and cranny with a Q-tip and a toothbrush and get on in there. And then I'm going to give it a gold test. And we're going to see what the heck is this made out of. Again, that C, the letter C, is totally Victorian. Here's another way to tell the age, the nose. Okay, so you see how straight this nose is? Let's go ahead and check that out. See the length of it and the straightness? Now, an early 20th century cameo and on would have a pert tip of the nose. It would turn up. So this is telling me this is a Victorian nose. Now, the earlier ones would have a Roman nose. Roman nose would be long, but would have like a lump in the center. Like it would be like one of those type of Roman noses, which generally are a little crooked and has a lump in the center. A Victorian nose would be straight and long, and the tip of the nose would not be pointing upwards. So this is telling me Victorian again. It could be mid-Victorian, late Victorian, don't know. Another telltale sign. The early 20th century ones and on, so like 1900, 1907, 1899, like right around there, the tips of the nose again would point upwards and be pert and be shorter, and the chins would be sharp and pointy. But the older ones have big, thick, round chins. Don't know if you can see her chin, but it's not a pointy chin. It's a round and fattened chin. So that helps us date it also. Look at that. Look at her outfit, the toga. And here's the detail. We have grape leaves and grapes. Again, we have grape leaves on the top and a grape. Look at the eye. Look at that. And look at the lips. Reminds me of those old coins, like those ladies, like the Liberty ladies and stuff on the old coins. Has like that same type of look, doesn't it? So if you collect coins, I'm sure that you'll like cameos as well. All right, gonna get the cleanser out and get cleaning. Remember it as it is, filthy dirty, right? And then we're gonna find out, is this gold plated, or is it just brass? All right, excuse the dog's barking. So I used a denture brush. You can get these for about $2. I used Simicrone. I used a bunch of ear swabs. Okay, got into like the little, yeah, a lot of filth came off of this. Let's see how clean this got. And a little bottle brush, which is very soft bristles. Okay, look how clean this got. All right, do you remember how filthy this was? All right, let's turn it this way. Look at that. Okay, so I think this might be real gold. I could be having, you know, pipe dreams over here, but yeah, here we go. Look how clean this got. All right, you remember how filthy and blackened this was, right? Okay, yeah, I got Simicrone all over my fingers. I just washed my hands. This stuff barely ever comes off. So what I also did was I used this dish detergent and with the soft bristle brush, and also cleaned it with Dawn dish detergent, rinsed it off and dried it. You can wash your cameos. Your best bet is to get mineral oil and oil it because they do dry out. I will do that. Leave the mineral oil on for about 24 hours. And front and back, you just take a Q-tip and just rub it through the shell. And it'll be good for the shell, actually. Sometimes there's a let me just try to open this. It's very hard to open this. I tried to get this open, but I think the C got bent a little. And I can't get this little pin out. So I don't know. The person that sold it to me didn't really know much about it. I could probably get a plier and pull this up a little. But sometimes there's an acid stamp of an artist on here. I'm trying to find it. I don't see it. But most of these were made in Italy. All right, so let's get the gold testing apparatus out. And again, look at this. I mean, it could be plated. It could very well be plated, but it looks good to me. It looks really good. I didn't clean the tube hinge. So now you can see the difference. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Let's try to get a close-up. Can we even see any writing on here? I do not see any writing. Let's check this side. I really didn't clean the back either. I didn't really get in there with the Q-tip. So, you know, I wanted to keep as much of the patina as I could. But here's the front. And again, look how clean that is. All right, let's get our gold tester out. Okay, so when I start my test, I always start with the lowest quality of gold. Let's move the camera down. The lowest quality of gold testing juice, which is 9K. And so this is the 9K. So what I'm going to do is give this a couple of scratches. And I'm going to go ahead and give the stone a couple of scratches, as thick as I can get on here. And it's not looking like gold on the stone. Generally, you can tell gold, but it's not looking like gold on the stone. All right, so this is going to be the 9K. Let's actually move my camera downwards. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be the 9K test, and this is going to be the 10K test. This is very dangerous. You should be wearing gloves if you're doing this, because honestly, you can get this acid on you and burn yourself. But I'm a schmuck. One drop if I can. And if this actually eats away at this spot, you know that this is not gold. All right, so if the scratch remains, you know it's 9K. All right, let's go ahead. It should take a few seconds. Very hard to see because I'm in the dark here. The lighting is not very good in my house. And now we're going to go with this. And I put a lot. I put a lot of 10K fluid. And we're going to check this out. Let's pull this up and look. And you can see the scratches both remain there. So now we got at least 10K. All right. We got at least 10K gold. So this is 9K right here. And this is 10K. Do I have 12K fluid? Let's see. Hold on. I do. And let me find it. I got to find which one it is. I think this is 14. And the red one hopefully is 12. Nope, it's 18. Well, shit. All right. We'll try for the 14. All right, let's go ahead. We'll give this a scratch. I don't like doing this. It really, it's really not, huh. All right, so we're going to go with the 14 if I can find it. Where the hell did I put it? Oh, here it is. All right. This is the first time I'm even opening this stuff. All right, let's go. And we're going to check and see if that still remain there. So far, so good. It's not eating away at it. This could be 14K, guys. It has not eaten away at my line. We got gold. We struck gold, boys and girls. For $35, we struck gold. All right, so it's as high as 14K. I'm not going to go any higher. That's it. The test is now over. So, wow. Look how much cleaner this is. Do you see that? Okay, so we know at least it's real gold. We know that it could be plated. I could be wrong. No jewelry expert here, but it's at least 10 to 14 karat in gold. Look how clean that got. And so somebody thought this was grandma's costume jewelry and sold it for $35 on eBay. And it was a great score. And what's another really good thing about this cameo is it's unusual. The reason why it's unusual is because it's left facing. Most cameos are right facing. So it makes it a little more rare. You don't see as many left facing cameos as you see right facing cameos. So not only now does this have gold going for it, it actually is a left-facing cameo for $35. So somebody thought this came from grandma's costume jewelry collection. And wow, I am just like over the moon over this. Okay, I couldn't get it that clean I didn't want to mess with the patina on the back. So I did not clean it on the back. What else do we know about this? The age. So we're going to guesstimate or guess that this is Victorian. We got the pin jutting out past the frame. We have the tube hinge. Okay, so these are all clues to the age of this. What else do we notice? Straight Roman nose. Okay, straight Roman nose. The chin. The chin is not pointy. Older ones have these thicker, more robust chins. And the nose will be completely straight. That shows Victorian. If it was older than Victorian, it would have a Roman nose, which would be straight and long, like the bridge would be straight and long, but would have a lump in the center. So now we know that this is definitely Victorian. It's real gold. Let's check out that frame. Look at that. Look how shiny that is. Now, I did very, very thick scratches on it when I did my test because gold-plated will only be on the layer. I couldn't get in between each twist. I tried to do it with the swabs, but it was very hard to get in there. I did scrub it with the toothbrushes and everything, but now we know that this is even rarer. What would I sell it for? Well, I'm not going to lie. Okay, I used to have an Etsy shop, and I priced my antiques 50% higher than their book value. So, for example, if something was worth $400, I would list it for $800, and things would sit for a while. They would sit for maybe 6 months to 2 years, but I'd always get my price for it. Because there's a saying, there's an ass for every seat. So what would I list this as if I had an Etsy shop still? Between $500 and $775. And you might be like, that's highway robbery. And I'm going to guarantee you that I would eventually get a buyer for it. And it always happened for me on Etsy. And you might say, well, you want to see the comparables. What do similar ones like these sell for on eBay? That's why you never compare to eBay, because I paid $35 for this. Now, if somebody wanted to see the history of the cameos that sold on eBay in the past, like say, I don't know, 2 months, they'll see that this one sold for $35. Immediately, like Dr. Lori, people like Dr. Lori, that antique appraiser lady, would say, worth $35 because it sold for $35. No, you got to actually factor in the sleeper factor. When somebody finds something that's more valuable than it's worth, and they got it for a song. So now this cameo is not worth $35 because it sold for $35. So again, I would sell it again. I think I said between $500 and $775. Now somebody else on maybe Ruby Lane or Etsy would list this for between $200 and $300. And so I got a major score. And again, I would never get rid of it for less than $500. And $35 was really a good buy for a left-facing Victorian cameo. Let's get in there close. It almost looks like, if you collect coins, like those Liberty ladies. We can't get a focus. It's very hard. But you know those Liberty ladies that are on the coins? Let's just try to zoom out more. It looks a lot like a Liberty lady that would be on a coin. And she's a beauty. She was carved in Italy. And they don't do this anymore. They do have artisans that still carve cameos in Italy by hand. But for the most part, they're mass-produced and laser cut. And this was done by hand. Somebody actually did this by hand. Let's get in there closer. You can see, look at all that workmanship. This is a lost art and beautiful. Thanks for watching another one of my unboxings. If you like designer bags, go ahead and follow me on Rumble. The link will be in the description below, where I do unboxings of bags that I get on DHgate. And you might be like, DHgate? They have a lot of really cool designer bags. So if you're into designer wallets, bags, and bag accessories, go ahead and follow me over on Rumble. Link will be in the description below. Hit the bell notification on both platforms to get notifications whenever I upload a new video. Thanks for watching. And this was a lot of fun, boys and girls. A lot of fun.